Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining me tonight on the Monday Winnie and Kat Independent Stylist Conference call. Today is May 19th, and I want to thank everybody who's here on the call live and everybody who is joining in during the week on the recording. So some of you, this is a new call. This is your first time on the call, so welcome, and welcome to Winnie and Kat. We're welcoming this week Patty, Jennifer, and Shelley. Thank you for joining us, and congratulations to Lori and Susan on building your team. Susan had a great party last Thursday, and Jennifer and Shelley both joined at her party, so that is awesome. And so what we're going to do tonight is, I know everybody is very excited to see the new piece, and I'm going to introduce that very momentarily. And then I have asked some of our stylists who are really consistent and fabulous at throwing parties, and not just throwing parties, but having really successful parties. So I've asked them to share, and they have so graciously agreed to do so. And it's going to be a Q&A, which worked really well the last time we did it. So think about any questions that you want to know. And these stylists also, besides booking really consistently, always having something on the books. Their shows are not always, of course, not every show is always your best show, but these stylists usually have shows that are $1,000 shows, and just really, really consistently. So I know a lot of people have wondered how, and we're going to hear from them. So without further ado, oh my goodness, let me pull up my let me make sure I have it up here. Okay, without further ado, here is the man suit. Wait, hold on. So what do you think? Comments on the man suit. I think this is really going to be a big game changer. I think, a lot of you have talked about a men's. Just kidding. I was looking online, and I could not even. I just thought this was just awesome. So I wish I had seen this one for April Fools, because I did kind of fall in love with the man suit, I have to say. Does it come with white patent leather shoes? I know, love it. This is Bob. I wish it was Bob. I know. I almost I tried to put a little WK where the H is, but I decided that would not be a good focused use of my time. I think that Kyle is going to model this one for us. Okay, yes, if you would like this, I will have to share it with you, but I just thought it was hilarious. So anyway, I am going to spare you from the man suit. Yeah, Wendy, can't you see Bob in this? Maybe Skip too, you just anyway, okay. Can't stop looking at it. I will spare you though. We're going to move on to the real piece in our next, if I can get it to the PowerPoint. And I am going to introduce to you the real jumpsuit. And Tiff is on the call. She has worn the jumpsuit, and I'm going to ask Tiff to share. And this is seriously, everybody, and not that many people have seen it, but those who have, and Tiff, let me find you on here, and I'm going to. Can you hear me, Tiff?
Yep, I see I am unmuted.
Okay, so, and I think you and Mike would look great in that baby blue as well.
You know what? That could work. We could double date with Bob and Mike.
So yeah, so okay, I want to read the comments too. So Adorbs, so awesome, love it, much better than the man suit. Really comfy, OMG, you look so comfy, love it, beautiful. She looks, yeah, oh, Mary was saying how good you look in it, Tiff. And oh my gosh, I love it, I'm a jumpsuit girl. Okay, jumpsuits are so hot right now. And Frankie, our model, when she saw the pictures of it, when I was showing her what she's going to wear, she said, that is the best thing I've ever seen. She wore it home from the model shoot. And Natalie just said, excited it's under $100 too. It's $89. Okay, this is such an amazing value. It's made out of a viscose spandex blend, and it's a complete outfit. So Tiff, how did you feel when you wore the jumpsuit last week?
Oh my gosh. Well, first when I saw it hanging, all I could think of was all the places I want to wear it to. It's like it immediately became like the destination outfit for me. And I did wear it out a couple of times. Once on a date with my husband, and he loved it. Once to a fundraiser to kind of show everyone Winnie and Kat. When I walked in, everyone knows now that I'm with Winnie and Kat. And I walked in, and the room stopped, and everyone was like, that is not Winnie and Kat. I was like, oh, yes, it is. So it's definitely an attention getter, and it's so comfy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also wore it to the pool.
Oh, you
and,
did?
Yeah, I wore it as a little cover-up, and then we went to the restaurant next door, and I just kind of threw on some jewelry, and it was perfect.
Cool. Okay, I have to ask you this. Did you wear a strapless bra?
I have. I've worn a strapless bra with it a couple times, and then to the pool I just had my bathing suit under it, and it looks cute with the bathing suit straps coming up too.
Oh yeah, I bet. Cool. Well, after the photo shoot, Francie, a lot of you know Francie Wong, our photographer and also independent stylist, and Francie came over to the home office the next day to get some samples, and we were like discussing the graphics. And so she tried, when we were doing the shoot, she said that, I can't wear that. I probably won't wear that. And she tried it on here, and she looked amazing. And she, of course, bought it. And so later that night, Francie texted me, and I woke up early. As you all know, I wake up very early, but I woke up at like 5 in the morning with a text from Francie, and she said, you have to let us sell this now, because I was going to wait. There's 3 pieces coming out this summer, and Francie said, I already booked a party by wearing it and sold 2. So they're going to be on the shopping cart tomorrow. The sizes are small to extra large, and they're available. They're already here. They're in the warehouse, which is totally awesome too. And each stylist can buy one at 50% off. So, I mean, that's $49.50. No, it's not. It's cheaper than that. It's $44.50. So each stylist can get one for $44.50. There's going to be a limit to 1 sample per stylist. And then, of course, any other ones that you buy retail, you get the 25% back, and it counts towards your personal volume. So super excited. This is going to be, we're going to put graphics up on the website and on Facebook, and it will be on the shopping cart tomorrow, so you can start selling it, showing it. And it's in black. It's just coming in the black jumpsuit. We'll have another color for other colors and the other 2 pieces. So I think black's going to be a great seller. It's just such a good basic piece. So they are in stock. So they're all in stock. They're all here, and we're ready to go. So you can start selling them and then enter in the orders tomorrow. So alrighty. Any other questions before we move on? So okay, so. No, the sizes are small to extra large. How do they fit? They fit really true to size. They are the Frankie. Just so you know, Frankie's wearing the small. Frankie is an extra small, but she wore the small and was fine. I don't know the inseam length. I'm going to have to get back to you on that one. But I think a small could really go extra small as well, and I'll find out what the inseam length is and get back to you on that, Jennifer. Okay. So, Mary, I think it will work for you. Mary's asking. She's very tall. She's 6'1", and I think it will work. So, um,
Diane,
yes,
I'm probably about 6 feet when I'm in my
yeah.
my favorite heels, and it totally worked in my best heels. I love them. So
Oh,
yeah,
good,
I think it'll work for Mary too.
good, good, good. And the waistband it's gathered. It's like a smocked elastic, Ellen. And any questions that I didn't have time to answer, I will. Oh, Tiff, what size did you wear, Tiff?
You know what? I tried on the small and the medium, and I went with the small, and I could have done either. So it is really forgiving.
Okay. So I think Ashley, your question. I think if a size double XL could fit into an extra large, I'm pretty sure. But okay. So alrighty then. Well, any other questions? And if there's any other questions, I'll answer them later. And oh yeah, Cheney's on the call too. Hello, Cheney. Okay, so cool. Well, thank you everybody. Can you have this picture? Natalie asked. Yes, I'm going to post it. Let me see. Let me think how I can share that with you. I'll figure out the best way to share it with you. It's going to be a Facebook slider as well. And I also had a graphic made, a square one for Instagram. So there's going to be a website slider that's sized for our website, and then also those two other graphics. So feel free if you want to take it and then add your style, your own URL. If you want to make that, put that over it, that's great, or your phone number or whatever. Yeah, so nice photo too, isn't it? That was done by Francie Wong, and we had a great photo shoot. So I'm really looking forward to showing you the other pictures that are going to come out of this. So I asked some of our stylists to talk about parties, and let me see if I think, I see that some of you raised your hand. And I'm not sure if you could type it into the question box. I see a couple of raised hands. So let me know if you type in the question box if there's something that some other question that you had. Okay, so in the meantime, I'm going to unmute you probably one by one because otherwise it gets very echoey. But I think we've got Susan Kane on the call. We've got Ellen and Mary, who I asked to speak. If there's anyone else on the call who I asked to speak and I did not mention you, please let me know. And gosh, so many people on this call. It's awesome. Thank you so much. So so Ellen, can you hear me, Ellen?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's good to hear your voice. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing really good.
Good. So I thought maybe, actually, let me see. Let me add Susan and Mary on, and then see if it gets too echoey. Then we can. Hey, Mary.
Hi.
Are you there? Hello. Okay.
Hello.
Let me find Susan and Elizabeth can make. I think she's listening, but she's not in a place where she can talk. So it's going to be the three of you. Susan, are you there?
I am.
So the reason I asked the three of you to share on the call, and you're all kind of different places in your business, especially Susan is so new to the business, and Elizabeth and Mary. Mary started in the business right at our launch party, actually, of Winnie and Kat in February, and you all have some different experiences with parties. So maybe if someone, and let me just kind of I'll share one thing about each of you, and then maybe the best thing to do is kind of open it up and see who has questions for which specific stylist. And I think that the things that I believe are that I see is that, well, one, for Ellen, Ellen has had, since she joined the company, always consistent and always great shows, usually a power seller almost every month, and even through surgery, vacations. Ellen is so good at planning around her planning her business, I should say, around her life. and having successful shows. Mary, when Mary first started, and I think this is a great story, you know, sometimes, and I used to put so much into somebody's first party and was always, you know, so like, oh my gosh, like kind of on pins and needles. And now we've all kind of shifted that first party into sort of the practice parties, and, you know, even like your first 6 parties. And Mary really, I think, it just had such a giant, just huge, it's more than a leap, it's a giant jump of improvement from, you know, I think your first party, Mary, if I can say this, was a total bomb. Was that?
Oh, it was. Yeah. I sold the scarf, a wrap scarf. And that was only because it was my best friend at the time.
And now, I mean, Mary is just like, every time I look, you know, you've got something going on and you've got great sales. So Mary, I think, is really, you know, is a great example of someone who started out like that. Like, it just like really had so much persistence and built. And then Susan, I asked to talk as well. And Susan is so new to the company, and yet has had really, you know, a lot of success so far, you know, in your tiny, you know, short time. And Susan had a party on Thursday, and 2 new stylists joined from her party. So so I think that Susan's a great example of someone who started out and really just kind of started out running with it. So why don't I open it up and see who might have a specific question for one of these wonderful independent stylists. Well, I'll start. I'm happy to start if I'm the first one with a question. So, Susan, tell us about your party Thursday and why why Jennifer and Shelley joined after your party. Hello? Hello? Hello, can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me now? I lost my audio for a minute, but I think I'm back. Can you all hear me? Oh, good. I don't know what happened. It was a GoToMeeting thing. So good. Okay, sorry about that. So Susan, and could you hear each other when I was gone?
Yes.
We could hear each other, but we couldn't hear you.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. So okay, so what I had asked, and I don't know if I'm interrupting you or not. What I had asked was, Susan, from your last party, your party on Thursday, can you tell us a little bit how that was? Because I know you had a party before that it was a qualifying show, and I know you still weren't like super excited about it, and you thought, well, I really want this next show to be fruitful, and you ended up with great sales and also 2 new stylists. So how did that happen?
I think number one, it has to do with selection of the hostess and also encouraging that hostess. So I was very careful about who I wanted to do this with, and also I wanted it to be very easy for that hostess too. So, you know, I picked somebody that is a good friend of mine. I knew that she was a great entertainer, and we just worked together on it. It was more about making it just a fun evening, and then there were also these great clothes that you could look at and try on and have fun with. So we didn't do a big presentation. We kept it pretty simple. And what Cynthia did was she always entertains very well, and I wanted to make sure it wasn't very difficult for her. So I brought different appetizers as well, wine. It was a great setup, a great she's a very pretty house, and we brought in some good friends that we just made it feel very homey, comfortable. And oh, by the way, we have these great clothes and we're wearing them. So people saw the clothes on a few of us, and that was very important. It was very important to, as when I stood up to talk a bit about it, and mostly my talk was about thanking Cynthia, and then just very briefly hitting the high points on Winnie and Kat. And certainly one of the big high points for me is Made in America, and that it's the comfort, the style, the simplicity of it, passing the clothes around so that people can feel it, because they got to feel it first before they put it on. And once they feel it, they go, wow, that does feel good. I wonder what that feels like on my body. And so we made sure that we had areas where they could privately try on things. And it just, once somebody starts with it, it just flows. And it was kind of funny because the pencil skirt, we've seen that as a skirt, as a top. Lori likes to wear that both ways, so one on top, one on the bottom. And then we had somebody at our show who could actually wear it as a dress.
Wow.
Yeah. And so, the creativity flowed. But we just really tried to keep the whole thing fun and casual. And that really worked, because I felt like for that particular group, people did not want to hear a presentation, but as they saw how fun the evening was, they said, wow, I would like to do that. And you guys look like you're having a good time. This doesn't look difficult. Love the clothes, love just the whole atmosphere. Where do I sign up?
That's awesome. Does anyone have any questions for Susan? All right. That's so really like your hostess. You would say that your hostess was key, right?
Very much so. And yes, the hostess is key. And you want to set the right tone. And for us, we just wanted to set a tone of it's a nice get together where it isn't about selling something. It was a nice get together, and yet at the same time we're selling something that's really beautiful. But we didn't push that. We just made sure that we set the right tone, and then that was kind of a great, it just works. It works.
Courtney has a question. Courtney, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Hey, yes. How are you?
Hello, I'm doing pretty well.
Good.
I just got a follow-up question. It sounded like you did a brief presentation about the clothes themselves, but you didn't do, part of your presentation didn't include the business side?
For that particular, actually for two of them, no, it didn't really go into the whole business side. We tried to present it in a way that we wanted to generate the interest in the clothes. We wanted for people to see that it was just fun. It was pure fun to be there. And then we would go off a bit on the side when people came up and one-on-one, I would present the opportunity. I didn't present the opportunity in a group forum. I wanted to present the clothes in a group forum. I felt like, I wanted to pull them in first, and then as they got pulled in and saw, felt, wore the clothes, then talk a bit about the opportunity. So I did that more once I generated a bit of interest. I didn't do that to the group as a whole. I felt like, at least for my particular group, I might lose some people, so I wanted it to be a little bit different.
Cool. Well,
Okay.
Thanks, Susan. Thanks, Courtney. And Lori also said that Susan's really organized, which is a big help to her success. So let's talk about sales. I want to ask Ellen, because Ellen, now most stylists get super excited strive for the $1,000 show. That's really exciting. Ellen complains when her shows are $1,000 because she expects more. So Ellen, how do you do that?
Well, and I think that the one show I was just disappointed about, not really. I just thought that there were a lot of women there, and so I anticipated it, and that's something that I've found. I'd never done direct sales before, and what's so interesting a year later is that you never know. Like, you can think, oh, this party's going to go this way, and I'm going to probably do these sales, and it just never goes the way you think it's going to go. So I always strive to, do the $1,000 party, and, I'd love to do a 3 or 5. I think that'd be amazing. So I think what I've also learned too is, when I was listening to the 6 Weeks of Success about the hostess coaching, it's like, okay, that just seems so technical, but really what it is just talking to the host, communicating. Don't get a party on the books and then talk to her the day before. The last couple parties that I've had that have been, really good turnout, really good sales, have been when I've had more than, probably 5 conversations with the hostess. And what I'm trying to figure out in this world of technology is what is the best way to reach, these people and invite them. And so what I have done is kind of talk to the hostess and say, okay, your friends, let's think of the best way to reach them. Is it by email? Is it by Evite? Is it by a paper postcard? What? And so I've tried all 3 of those before, and obviously they work unless the hostess doesn't pass out the paper, the things that you print. So another way to reach, if they're like really into Facebook, is create that Facebook group and post pictures of the outfits and get everybody excited about the party. Save the date out there first, and then follow up a couple days later. Oh my gosh, this is this great outfit. It'll be at Mary's house. Don't forget the date is blah, blah, blah. And I'll usually post a picture of the invitation on the Facebook group. But I think, all 3 of those means of, the Facebook group, the invitation, the email, and then I create the actual invitation either on Red Stamp or paperless post. And so I think, really, first of all, finding out your hostess, like what's the best way to reach her friends is going to be. And then the time, this next one that I'm doing, I said, well, to the hostess, I asked her, is an evening going to be better, or is daytime going to be better? And she's like, well, some of my friends work and some of my friends don't. So she said, well, let's do 10 to 8. So we're going to do a 10 to 8, all day open house. And she created a Facebook group of 141 people, and then I printed out 150 cards for her, and she mailed out 100. And so, and I tell my hostesses, just ask as many people as you can, because, things come up, people have to cancel. And the more you invite, the more people you'll get. So I think that's important. The other thing that I've kind of learned just in the past couple months is talking to the hostess about what to say, like when the guests arrive. So I'm going to tell my hostess for this upcoming show, since it's going to be an open house, is, when her guests arrive, we'll greet them, say hi and everything. And then I'm going to tell her to say, okay, you got to go check out Ellen's clothes from California. They're amazing. Oh my gosh, they're, and just give her the words to say to her guests when they get there. Because I know one thing that's helped me is through these trainings with, Deb and the past trainings, is when they give me the words to say, I'm so much better at it. So I'm trying to do that for my hostess. Okay, well, when your, friends get there, this is what I want you to say. And not have it be, some like script or anything, but just, oh my gosh, go check out Ellen's clothes. They're amazing,
I love that.
So that, and just making it fun. I mean, really, I like that, we can do this. We can meet other women. Everybody has a story. It's so great to connect and also to have fun and not be so serious and stressed out.
Yeah, fun. That seems to be the common thread is fun and hostesses. Does anyone have any questions for Ellen? And I take back the word complaining was not right because I've never ever heard you complain.
That's okay. No, I
think
forgive
it's part of your success. And Susan agreed that it's really important to prep the hostesses with what to say. So thank you, Ellen. And if anyone has questions, I know we're going over a little. I hope that's okay if we go about 10 minutes over. So thank you very much, Ellen. That was awesome. So Mary, let me, I muted you because it got echoey. Can you hear me? Mary, are you there? Mary?
Yes, I am.
Hello.
Yes.
So Mary, okay, so we've heard building at shows and selling. So what about, Mary, you always, every time I ask Mary, because Mary's here locally in Los Angeles, if she can do something, she can't because she has a party. So, which is awesome because Mary has always got a party on the books and she's headed towards the Gucci tote. So how do you keep your bookings, Mary? How do you keep your calendar busy?
Well, I think that a couple of things. I always am trying to have 6 shows on my books, and we learned about that. And since I've done that and going back to the 6 weeks to success and reading week 2 and 3, it's really just been falling into place. And I agree with the others with the hostess coaching. Since I have spent more time on that, it seems like I have not lost the booking. They don't cancel it. We have a good show, and everybody's having fun. So I think, and I'm just trying to always have 6 shows on the books, always, if not more. And I think that that's been successful. It has been for me. You know that.
Yeah, I mean, so you really set that goal, and then.
Yeah, and I think opening myself up, you all might not know, but as many, I work full time, so I was just trying to get shows on the weekends. And then I realized that that's not very convenient for everybody. So I still have to do the shows in the evenings during the week, but I'm doing a lot more of those. And I do think that the hostess coaching is key. I think that is a key thing that we need to do.
And do you ask, like, how do you actually close on it? When somebody says, "Oh, I want to do a show," how do you actually get them to hold it?
I have my calendar with me always.
Nice.
And I think that I ask them, let's do a show. That's the other thing. I think that don't be afraid. I don't know if afraid is the right word, but always ask. Always ask everybody if they want to do a show, because you're going to go through your circle of friends and family that will go by quickly. So you have to start asking other people's and other influences, friends at work or people you meet in the store. Or I joined a networking group of women. Actually, Tiff is the leader of the group. And I've done little boutiques with them, in-house boutiques, and I've booked shows from that. But I just ask and I pull out my calendar right then and I say, is this a good day or is this a good day? Let's do it. And then I send them a packet out within the next day, you know, within 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I think that that's what's helped me.
That's great. That's so follow up, asking, following up.
Yes, following up right away.
Well,
Right away. And they've all worked. And I have to tell you a quick little thing is that the two people that I've known that are my friends that have had shows recently, and I didn't do the same kind of hostess coaching, those were the ones that didn't make it a qualifying show.
That's interesting. And
Yeah.
the three of you are so different in so many ways. Like if you looked at, because I'll hear like, this person wouldn't want to do it for this reason or whatever, like that kind of that, whatever it is. But like the three of you are so, first of all, geographically completely different. I mean, we've got Mary here in LA, like in the beach cities in LA. Ellen's in the Midwest in St. Louis, and Susan is in South Carolina. And just really, you're all such a great example of having awesome parties. So does anybody have any other questions? I think we have time for maybe one or two questions before we take off. I think this was so, and let me, Ellen and Susan and Mary, do you have anything else that you'd really, I'm going to take everybody off of mute. Is there any, what would be your kind of, do you have any parting words of advice for booking, having fun shows? Is there anything that you'd love to leave everybody with?
One thing that I like to do is have the hostess obviously wear the clothes. And so I'll have, her come pick out something to wear a couple days before, or I'll go early, for setup. And then, she puts on what she loves and feels comfortable in. And so I think that really helps. And then also if I know another person is coming to the party that has purchased Winnie and Cat, I, will call them up and say, don't forget to wear your Winnie and Cat.
Uh-huh. Love that.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, I think that's really important. And even if it's older, older pieces is really fun too, because then they'll say, well, where's that? And I'm like, well, that was an older piece, and so I think that's really important.
I also think that you have to, don't assume that your hostess is going to think of everything. As much as you can discuss it ahead of time, you really have to take the lead on it and make sure that it's going to be the party that you want to have, the one that you know is going to be successful. So, there may be the fine points that they may overlook. You want to really review well what's going to happen at the party, what's going to be served, who's coming, have you followed up, but you got to take the lead on it. Don't depend on your hostess to do everything. They're doing you a really big favor by opening their home to you. Make sure that you follow up and cover everything that you possibly can to make it easy for that person.
And how did you know that, Susan? Was that just how did you learn how to do that? How to do the hostess coaching?
I just assume they're not going to do everything they say they're going to do.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, so if they're, I'm always going to be the one that brings the extra couple of appetizers, you just want to make sure that it's the party that needs to happen. And so if you have a couple of extra things and they have covered it, that's great. But you've got to be super organized. Know exactly what you got to bring, what has to be put out, what your hostess needs to be prepared with in terms of welcoming people. Just be on top of it. Don't assume that they know what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, and practice. A lot of practice, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of practice.
Yeah.
But you want to help them because you want them to have a really, it's their home, it's their friends, and you want to make them look good.
Yeah, I think it was Patty who's on the call tonight who just joined us, who is very successful at another company, and said one of her secrets was to be the everyone. She said everyone at the end of the night wants me in their house. So I think that sounds like that's what you do too, Susan.
I
So
think that is a key thing, and like we've all said, it has to be fun. Everybody has to have fun, and the hostess. And I think that sounds like we're all doing it, so that's a good thing.
yeah, well, I appreciate all three of you sharing so much, and everybody. We're all collaborative. Everybody helps each other, and Susan, Mary, and Ellen are all friends of mine on Facebook. Well, and the Stylist Forum is a great place to connect as well. There's a trunk show tips and ideas section there. So I really encourage you to reach out to each other, and there's been some awesome sharing from cross teams. And so I'm going to answer a couple more questions, and I'm going to leave you with the information for tomorrow night's opportunity call. Okay, is the jumpsuit going to be in the kit? That's a two-part answer. It's not. However, we're having our big opportunity call tomorrow, and there's a lot of people who are interested in the call. If anyone joins tonight, this is going to be a special, introducing the jumpsuit special. Anyone who joins today or tomorrow after the call, they have to join by tomorrow night, I will put a jumpsuit in their kit. So that is an amazing, $89 value, and what a fabulous piece to have. So anyone who joins will get that. So you want to bring your prospects on the call tomorrow. And tomorrow is going to be a great call because it's going to be Q&A. This was, I think that the Q&A worked so well, and thank you for staying on longer tonight. We had so much valuable information, and tomorrow we're going to hear from two other stylists. We're going to hear from Lori and Jennifer, and that's going to be the opportunity call. So it's going to be these two, Lori and Jennifer, have so graciously volunteered to answer questions. And thank you, Ellen. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Susan, for helping us out tonight. This is awesome, and it's going to be. Thank you, everyone, for joining. We had an amazing attendance tonight, and the opportunity call is on Facebook, the event, and it's also on the forum. The link to the webinar. It will be webinar format, which makes it really easy to have people talk. If I will tell you this, tomorrow night, Jennifer and Lori, if for any reason I do have that malfunction, just know I will come back or figure out how to get on the phone. So I'll let you roll with it too. Sometimes I don't know why that happens. Go to webinar. But anyway, thank you everyone for tonight. I have a quote, and it is, when a consumer derives value, especially from something that was given to him for free, he becomes the best kind of evangelist. So besides our awesome products that we sell, and I think that Susan and Mary and Ellen really hit it on the head, is having fun. Deb says that fun is the biggest commodity in the 21st century, the most important commodity. People want to have fun, So think about that. What are you giving your hostess? What are you giving your customers to serve them? And it's usually the stuff for free. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining me tonight. Thanks for staying a little late. And let us know if you have questions. The jumpsuit will be on the shopping cart tomorrow. Oh, you can go ahead and put in your orders. You've got 2 weeks to get those stylist sample orders in. So again, $44.50. And the jumpsuit, I just got a question. The jumpsuit is not in a kit right now because it's just it's a special item. It's limited edition as well. So while we have our pieces that carry forward, our basics, the jumpsuit's a special item. So yay, I'm so glad you're signing up now. That's very exciting. So yeah, so it's not going to be in the kit. It will be the 50% off after Wednesday, but it will be in the special kit, or in a special. I'm going to throw it in for the next couple of days. So anyway, thank you so much. Yes, Kat, this call will be recorded and embedded in the forum, so you'll be able to go back and listen to it. Just takes a little bit, but it should be up by the end of the night. So thank you, everyone, for joining me. Thank you for joining me on this dream. I am having a blast, and I look forward to talking to everyone tomorrow night. Bye-bye, everybody. Woo!